Okay. I had to make a new world because the other one just was not working for me. I literally could not find any animals or anything of the sort. I hope this world is not like that. Um, so far, this is a beautiful, beautiful start. Also, my house got blown up, so I kind of didn't want to play after that. So yeah, um, today I wanted to talk about mistakes. Um, I feel like more than most people, I make a lot of mistakes. Like I mean, a lot of them. Um, Hold on, I'm just gonna turn the volume down here. Like I don't know, I just growing up, I would kind of always make the exact same mistakes over and over and over again. Like my parents would ask me to do something, and I either would do it, but they'd have to yell at me first before I would, or um, or I just wouldn't do it, and then they'd yell at me, and then there'd be a whole thing. Like it just felt like either way, it was kind of a losing battle for me. Um, and then eventually, when the time came to like go and do it again, like let's say it was to like empty out the dishwasher, I'd get like so caught up in something else that I would just completely forget what they told me to do. Like, yeah, um, that's always been a really, really, like, really big issue for me. Um, because, they, after a while, I mean, I can't really blame them. After a while, you just kind of get sick of telling the kid to do the same thing over and over and over again. Um, and, I don't know. Like, it was kind of my fault, but at the same time, and like, I don't know. I wasn't thinking, like, really. Um, and I should have thought, especially back then. And I still make those mistakes even now. Um, and it just feels constant. It just feels like a constant losing battle for me because I just feel like I keep making the same mistakes over and over again. And then I just worry when I make those same mistakes that like my parents just don't trust me anymore, or they'll just be like, or I always think they have this impression in their mind of like, yeah, he's just that kid that makes those mistakes all the time, over and over and over again. Um, and I feel like it kind of hurts my opinions with like other people too, because I always want people to think like I'm great and I'm wonderful and I'm wonderful to be around, because I don't know, I don't know, I like being nice to people, I guess. Like it's not even like an ego thing. It's just like it's just like I want to be nice to people. And um I just want to seem like a good person to them because I don't feel like I seem like a good person in my head. It's because of all the mistakes I make and stuff. And so when I kind of like make a mistake, it's to me kind of just like furthering the point of like, oh man, they just they just don't think I'm a good of a person really anymore because I made a mistake. Which my friends have told me on multiple occasions that that's like okay, and it's okay to like make mistakes and stuff. But I don't know. I just feel like it isn't kind of at all good to make mistakes. Um, and I just hate making them. Like even today, I was supposed to be on call with a professor of mine, and I wasn't there for the meeting. And it was like a group assignment, and I was the only one who could attend. Um, and so my other group mate was counting on me, and I didn't show up. And she was clearly very mad at me, and I don't know if she still is. I have no idea. And this is someone I really want to make a good impression with, and I just feel like now she's gonna have a way less good opinion on me because I messed up this one time, and I worry that the teacher is gonna have a like worse opinion on me now that I messed up. Um, and it's just hard to get on my own head about these things, I guess, because I just always think that like what the fuck is that noise? Oh my god, what the hell? Wow, that cow just dropped from out of nowhere. That's crazy. I think he fell off the mountain. Oh, there's cats up there. That's why. But like, yeah, I just feel like I'm constantly making the same mistakes over and over again. And like, this isn't the first time I've kind of been like made a mistake in front of her too. Like, I've been late constantly to like our meetings that we're supposed to be at for this group project of ours, and it's just my poor time management, I guess. And there's no excuse for that. I really suck with time management and like doing well with that. And I'm really not trying to justify what I did at all, because I still feel really, really bad for it. But like, I don't know, sometimes it just doesn't feel in my control. Like sometimes I try and like I just feel like it doesn't really do anything. Like I just keep making the same mistakes over and over again. Or like I'll convince myself that like what I have to do is like I'll like not make the same mistake for the first couple of times. Like after somebody tells me, I'll be like, okay, you know what, I'm not gonna make this mistake, and I drill it into my brain or whatever. I drill it into my brain, and then I keep making that same mistake over and over. Like I keep doing well at it actually. Like sometimes I'll just be like, okay, you know what? Like I've really got this. Like I'm like, maybe I'm not gonna make the same mistake again. Maybe I'm gonna be okay. And then I end up just making that same mistake again, like a couple days later. And it's because I just stopped thinking about it actively. Like, let's say my parents want me to put the things in the dishwasher. Like, I'll be like, okay, I'm going to put the things in the dishwasher. I make a mental note of it in my head. And like, okay, that's what I'm going to do. It's going to be great, blah, blah, blah. And I do it. And for the first couple of times, I'm like, yep, I got this. And then as soon as I stop thinking about like doing it, it's just out of my head, really. And then I don't have anything to do. Like they just get mad at me again. They're like, we literally told you to do this a couple days ago. Why are you making the same mistake again? And I just have no explanation for it. I don't really know why it happens or why I'm built like this, but yeah, it really sucks. And it's this repetition too of making like the same mistakes again. Like it's even with schoolwork too. Like I'll tell myself, okay, I've got to read this chapter by this time. And uni has especially been like this, but it's like and especially with like psychology, but it's like, okay, I've got to do this by this time. And if I don't do it by this time, I'm going to be behind. And I know I'm going to be behind. And I know I'm going to be like hating myself if I don't do it now. And then I just end up not doing it, even though I know I'm going to like literally hate myself if I don't do it. And then I just end up not doing it, and I feel terrible at the end of the week. And yeah, that's pretty much been happening since the start of uni, where I'm like, okay, you know what? This is the week where I'm like finally gonna get ahead of everything, and like I'm finally gonna do stuff. And then I just don't. And I just feel so defeated because I'm like, I know exactly what I need to be doing here, and I'm just not doing it, and I don't know why. And I just feel terrible about it because I'm like, I should be doing these things. And it's like it's not even just that I'm making the mistake and like somebody else is getting hurt. It's that I'm getting hurt too. And my future is getting completely ruined because I'm just not doing what I need to be doing at the proper times. And I don't know how to fix it, because even then when I like touch this like textbook and I'm like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna be doing my work and it's gonna go great, it just doesn't. I just can't focus and I can't figure it out and like whatever. And it's really challenging because it's just frustrating for myself, because I start to like lose doubt in myself even, where I'm just like, man, like if I can't even do the simple task of just like freaking studying on time and doing my work on time, then how are like people going to be able to trust me when I like go to a job and like I'm in the future and I'm like way older and like I have responsibilities to take care of? Like how are people even going to trust me? How can people even trust me now? And so, you know, that just leads to a whole bunch of self doubt, and that's a whole other thing, you know. Um, but it's just really frustrating for myself because I want to be so productive, and I feel like, you know, I used to be. I used to be on top of my game. I used to be really on it, especially um, in grade 12. I was so on it because I was like, okay, you know what? Uni applications are coming up. These are the grades that really, really matter. Oh boy. These are the grades that like really, really matter. So I should be like dialed in for this. And so I just straight up dialed in. And like, you know, that was, the work wasn't even hard for me really. I was just able to do it. And high school work was never hard for me. Even the classes that I was having were like just chill. Like I remember English class in grade 12. Our teacher left for like 2 or 3 weeks because like somebody in her family died, and so she left the class with all this work to do, and none of us did it. Like literally every single person in that class by like the end of the first week was like on cool math games like all the time. And so, you know, that kind of led to that kind of led to like, oh man, what are we gonna do when she gets back? And then when she got back, she was like, oh, you guys, just don't do that again, okay? Blah blah blah. You get this one slide in university. And then I ended the class with a 94. And this guy who I know who's like, you know, who's not the brightest individual, he even ended the like I never saw him do a piece of work in that class, deadass. Like I never saw him do anything in that class. He ended it with like a 92 and even said to me, he's like, dude, I actually feel like terrible for this. Like I literally did nothing in this class. Like why did I get that grade? And I was like, what the heck? Yeah, like why? And I guess I just got so used to that too, because I was just like, yeah, you know what? Like if I can just pass right now and get like extremely, extremely, extremely good grades just by doing like freaking nothing, then like uni can't be that hard, right? And I think I set myself up for failure because in the first like kind of like 2 weeks, you know, I really just didn't do anything. And then like I had my first psych test in the third week and I was cooked. I got like a 54. And that's one of the lowest grades I've like ever gotten in anything ever. And that just felt terrible because I was like, man, I should really be putting in the work on this. And I pride myself on being this guy who's like, oh yeah, like, you know what, I'm gonna get in like grind. I'm gonna be doing all this stuff and blah blah blah. And then I just never do. Like more people work so much harder than me and get everything. And I just feel like I just, you know, I just don't work as hard, and I still always end up on the right side of the coin. And I kind of wish, you know, one day I was just punished for that. One day I was just like, you know what, you can't be doing this. You gotta lock the fuck in. And you know, I really hope that day comes soon because I could really use a kick in the ass. Yeah, it's just stupid because I just think that like I intrinsically think that I'm just gonna that just good shit's gonna happen to me when it really, really, really won't. And you know, it's fucking egotistical. And I think I used to be someone who like didn't really think I had an ego or whatever. Everyone has a fucking ego. I 100% have an ego. And I think the fact that I didn't think I had an ego, you know, it's because I had an ego. Like, and it's like it wasn't even that I didn't think I had an ego because like oh yeah, I'm just like better than everyone and blah blah blah. I just thought I didn't have an ego because I just thought I was the worst person ever. You know, you can think you're the worst person ever and still have an ego apparently. Yeah. You know, so that's difficult, and I just feel like, especially with university, with all these new courses and with this big load, I just feel like I haven't been able to manage it. And once again, it's just those same mistakes that I keep making. Where I'm just like, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna be dialed in this time. I'm gonna be completely 100% dialed in, and I'm never am. You know, uh, I'm just never dialed in, and I just feel like shit about it because I should be, and I should be working harder than everybody else because, you know, oh shit, okay. Wow. The old lava is so sick. I actually just love that. Like, I remember seeing that. I wanted to eat it back when I was younger. Like, I really wanted to just eat the freaking lava because it just looked like cake. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It just looks like freaking cake. Um, yeah. It's just. Oh shit. Okay. Yeah. I didn't know. Nope. No, I'm done. Yep. No, that's not happening. Okay, we'll come back to that later. I don't even remember what I was talking about. Yeah, it's like I'm in an acting program and I want to be an actor. And so, you know, in order to be an actor, you really got to work harder than everybody else. And I just always think to myself, I'm like, man, you know, like if I, holy fuck, it's still dark out. That is crazy. Yeah, you got to work harder than everybody else to be an actor. And so I'm not working harder than everybody else, and there are people working harder than me. And I feel like when I make these mistakes, it's just proof that I'm just going to end up being nothing, really. And that would be the worst thing ever for me because I don't want to particularly be nothing. And I don't want to end up in a position where, like, I just have to be, you know, not that there's anything wrong with this, where I just have to be like a teacher or something that I don't particularly want to do right now. And just settle for less and be like, oh, well, you know, it's fine, blah, blah, blah. Because I'll know deep down it's not fine. And that'll feel like shit, really. And, yeah. You know, I hope anybody who's watching this doesn't think I'm a terrible person. And if you do, you know, let me know in the comments below, I guess. But, yeah. I just feel like there's a lot, you know, wrong with me and a lot going on, and I just don't know how to fix it. I just don't know how to make myself feel better sometimes when it comes to this stuff, because it just feels like I'm constantly in a losing battle and I'm never winning, and I'm never kind of like, you know, ahead of the game. And I wish I was ahead, and I wish I came into class every week and just was like, that's my one dream, is coming to class and just being like, yeah, you know, I'm completely and utterly ready and prepared for what's happening right now. And I just straight up never am. Ugh, you know, life is just weird, man. I just feel like I'm constantly not where I'm supposed to be at. And I hope I don't die here, because I really want this iron. God, they have granite in this version. This is granite. Gravel. Oh wow. Looks like material. Yeah. I never thought I'd be this open on the internet, but here I am, you know. Wow. This game's very creepy. Oh my god. This is terrifying. Yeah. I don't really know. This is, yeah. Life is just hard, and I kind of wish it'd get easier for me. You know, it's not just like these types of mistakes. Like, I don't know. I feel like one day I'm going to make the biggest mistake of my entire life, and I'm going to mess everything up for myself forever. And every time I make these mistakes, I just think that, like, I'm one step closer to making that big fuck up that's gonna ruin me for the rest of my life. And I just wish I could learn from them. You know what I mean? Oh, that guy just killed himself. Yeah, I just wish that, um, I would learn. And, maybe that's the point. I'm a firm believer in the universe and that kind of thing where it's like, what's meant for you will come for you, and everything that happens to you is for a reason. And, maybe I'm not going to learn until that thing happens to me, and maybe it's going to be the most torturous thing ever. But, maybe I just have to learn my lesson soon, and not in a million years down the line when I haven't paid my taxes and I go to jail or something like that. You know what I mean? Maybe that's the problem. I don't know. I just don't think I was ready for this. I feel like I never really grew up, and I never had the place to kind of, I don't know. I feel like I was kind of given a bunch of opportunities to be like, do this, do this, do this, and I never freaking took them. And then, so now I'm older, and I'm like, wait, I really should have learned all this stuff. And now I'm having to learn it all on my own without anybody to really say to me, like, yeah, it's okay, blah, blah, like, once again, not to sound like a freaking baby or whatever, but, like, it's kind of what I want, is somebody to just be like, yeah, man, it's okay, you didn't learn the first time, you're going to learn this time, and everything's going to be okay. I don't know. I feel like anybody who watches this is just going to be like, wow, this guy is a total and complete and utter asshole. And how could anyone even think otherwise? And I really wouldn't blame you if you think so. I feel like I'm not doing a good job at explaining myself. And honestly, like, kind of thinking back to what I said, I just feel like, I don't really not really saying a lot of good things about myself either. I always think that, like, when those noises are things, it's like, it just sounds like someone's walking behind me, like Herobrine, And I don't know, I just don't think I'm that great at all. And I think this is kind of proof of that. Like, I haven't really been able to explain to people why I'm not great. Maybe this tells people why I'm not great at all. Yeah. I don't know. Mistakes and shit, man. It's weird stuff. I promise all my uploads are not going to be like this. I'm not going to be always sad all the time, But, yeah, I'm going to finish up this house here and make it look decent. And then I think I'll call it. But, yeah, that's me, man. That's me, unfortunately. Ugh. And I just don't like talking about this stuff. I just feel like I'm just whining for no reason. There's no point to it, and being like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And I promise it's not going to be like that forever. This is going to be like one of the few times where I'm like, oh, poor me, blah, blah. Because I don't like feeling sorry for myself, and I don't like when other people feel sorry for me at all. So, yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. I feel like it's going to come to me soon. Yeah, and I guess I just worry that people just don't like me either for all the mistakes I make. And I know I kind of said this earlier, but, like, I just constantly think, I'm like, yeah, like, if people are not going to think I'm a good person if I just keep making mistakes, is kind of what I was trying to say. And hopefully you can click off or whatever. But, like, yeah, I don't know, like, yeah, I just feel like I don't make the right choices. And I feel like when I don't, people are just like, wow, that guy doesn't have his life put together. And that, I don't want people to think that I don't have my life put together, because I really have big dreams for myself, and I really have big things that I want to do. And I'll talk about that later. But, like, I'm I'm not trying to be a failure, you know, and I'm not trying to be bad. I want to be good, and I want to be great at what I do. And whenever I make a mistake, I guess it just shows off that human part of me, and I don't want people to see that. I don't like when people see that I've got flaws and stuff. And even now, you'll hear me go, oh, that's just like me actually being disgusted at the fact that, like, I just said that, I guess. I don't really know. Like, I don't know. Yeah, that's how she feels, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. I love this game. I don't know. Like, this old Minecraft just reminds me of a simpler time, man. Just reminds me of a time when life was freaking goated. And I guess, you know, in a way, it's actually pretty goated right now. Like, I've got friends, and they're really nice, and they're really great people. And honestly, you know, I kind of worry about kind of not having that same connection with my friends back at like home, other than like these ones. Like, I feel like it's stronger back there than it is here. But I just keep reminding myself that, like, you know, like, I've only known these people for what, like 3 months. Like, if I think back to all my other friends that I knew for 3 months, like, man, like, there was like nothing going on there. Like, we were not talking about this stuff, definitely. But I just really want to get into the nitty gritty with them. Do you know what I mean? And you'll see probably this is the exact same house I built last time. But, you know, I actually love this house design a lot, and I think I'm going to improve it once I get better at this freaking game. Yeah. But yeah, like, I just love my friends here, and they're so funny, and they're so great, and they've taught me a whole lot already. And yeah, like, it just, I don't know. I also don't feel like super jealous like I did before with my other friends. And that's a mistake I would make a lot too, is like I would just kind of be like, do you guys still like me, blah, blah, blah? Do you guys still care about me, and blah, blah, blah? And of course they did, you know. They're my friends, but, you know, it was hard for me to remember that sometimes, yeah. Weird shit. I almost love this house, so, yeah. Okay. Oh, no, I don't like that. Here we go. So I'm gonna place it here. Yep. I should get some sand later too. That'd be great. Let's dig this out. I'm just gonna cover that up for now. I'll remember it. Yeah, like, I don't know, what can you learn from this one? Just be okay with making mistakes. You know, it's okay to make mistakes sometimes, I guess. And I have to remember that too. You should remember that it's 100% okay to make mistakes. And it's just human, and it's okay to be human. You know, you don't have to be perfect. And that's something I need to remember too. Oh my god, I have 15 iron. And so, yes, that is about it. Okay, see you later, guys.